I know many of us are concerned about rising land costs, and every time when we see a new land tender, the land price seems to be going higher and higher, and naturally buyers will start asking, if land cost keeps going up, how does this affect future new launch prices, and is there still any chance to enter at a more reasonable level? So for today's session, I want to cover an upcoming project in Lentor Garden Residences. But before we go into the details, let me first share what you can expect from this video. Because today, I'm not just going to show you the project and say whether it is good or not. I want you to walk through the full thought process that I use when I analyze a new launch for my clients. First, we will look at the concern around supply, and we'll study the land cost. We'll also compare it against the current OCR new launches, and we'll look at the nearby resale prices. We will also talk about who the future buyers may be. Then we'll go into the floor plan layout and bedroom types. And I will also touch on stack selection, facing, and how to spot the right unit type. So stay with me till the end, because the key question is not just whether Lentor Garden Residences looks attractive today. The real question is, if you buy today, will your future buyer still see the value when you exit? So that's the angle I want to help you look at. Now, when we talk about Lentor, I know there are a few concerns that usually come up. Some buyers may be wondering whether there's too much supply in the area. Some may be asking whether this particular plot is close enough to the MRT. And some may be thinking ahead. So if I buy today, who will be my future buyer when I want to exit? I mean, these are all very practical questions, and they are exactly the questions we want to be asking before entering any new launch. But instead of looking at Lentor alone from the angle of supply or distance, today I want to bring you through a more data-driven perspective, starting with land cost. And because Lentor Garden Residences was acquired at about 920 per square foot plot ratio, and when we compare this against the newer OCR land bids, where land costs are already moving towards 1,002 to 1,003 per square foot per plot ratio, then the questions become slightly different. Are we looking at a project in a high supply area, or are we looking at a chance to enter OCR based on an older land cost before future projects reset the pricing benchmark? So in this video, I'll walk you through the full picture. And if you're someone who's interested on the latest property developments in Singapore, may I invite you to hit the like and subscribe button, as I will deliver practical and useful information via this channel to bring clarity on your property journey. Thank you. My name is Sandra, and I help my clients analyze before they enter any project, not just whether the project looks good today, but who will be the future buyer and at what price level they can afford, and whether there is a clear exit story when it's time to sell. And some of the questions we'll also touch on very practical ones, like how long is the actual walk to Lentor MRT, which blocks and levels may enjoy better park views, are the layouts practical for families and future resale buyers, and from an exit strategy point of view, which unit types may appeal to the widest future buyer pool. These are the details that can affect not just your own stay experience, but also the future of the sale on this property. So I'll focus on the key points that matters most to buyers. So let's go into the numbers. Let's first address the main concern. When we talk about Lentor, one of the biggest concerns is supply. There are several residential plots in Lentor, and naturally buyers will ask, when all these projects are completed, will there be too many units? When I want to sell next time, will buyers have too many choices? And will all the projects compete with each other? In fact, those are the questions I would ask as well when I analyze a project. Because there are many projects in one area, future buyers will definitely compare. They will compare distance to MRT, they will compare project age, they'll compare facilities, layout, and they'll also compare facing. And most importantly, they will compare price. So yes, supply is something we must take seriously, but we cannot stop at the word oversupply. Because in property, supply alone does not tell the full story. The most important question is, supply at what entry price? If you enter at a very high price, and there is no clear future buyers pool, then yes, supply can become a real risk. But if you're entering at a reasonable price, backed by lower land costs, and supported by surrounding demand, and you choose the right unit type, then the risk can be managed better. So for Lentor Garden Residences, I don't want to simply say there's oversupply, so cannot buy. That is too simplistic. Instead, I want to ask, what is the land cost? What is the expected launch price? What are the other OCR projects selling at? What are the nearby resale transactions showing? Who is the future buyer? And will the next buyer be able to afford your unit when you exit? So this is the framework I want to bring you through today. Before we decide whether Lentor Garden Residences is attractive or not, we must first understand the land cost. Lentor Garden Residences was acquired at around 920 per square foot per plot ratio. Now, why is this important? Because land cost forms the foundation of every new launch. The developer still has to factor in construction costs, financing costs, marketing costs, risk and profit margin. But land cost is still one of the biggest components. So when a developer buys land at a lower cost, there may be more flexibility in pricing. But when a developer buys land at a much higher cost, the future selling price usually needs to be higher. So if one project has land cost of $920 per square foot per plot ratio, and another future project has land cost of about $1,200 to $1,300 per square foot per plot ratio, can both projects comfortably sell at the same price? Very unlikely. So the project with the higher land cost would usually need to sell higher, otherwise the margins will become very tight. This is why I always tell my clients, don't just look at the launch price, look at the land cost behind the launch price. Because the land cost can tell you whether you're buying into an older cost structure or a newer cost structure. And for Lentor Garden Residences, this is where the story becomes interesting. The project is sitting on land acquired at around $920 per square foot per plot ratio, while newer OCR land bids are already moving much higher. So are we buying into a project with lower historical land costs before future OCR launches reset the price benchmark higher? That is the key. Now let's compare this with Lentor Modern. Lentor Modern was the first major launch in the Lentor transformation area, and it has the advantage of being integrated with Lentor MRT and retail. But let's look at the land cost. Lentor Modern's land cost was around $1,204 per square foot per plot ratio. Lentor Garden Residences was acquired at around $920 per square foot per plot ratio. That is a difference of about $300 per square foot per plot ratio, or roughly about 24% lower in land cost. Now, I'm not saying Lentor Garden Residences is better than Lentor Modern because these are two different projects altogether. Lentor Modern has the MRT and integrated retail advantage. Lentor Garden Residences has a different positioning. But as buyers, we must ask these questions. If both projects are in the same wider Lentor precinct, and one project has a significantly lower land cost, should we at least study whether this lower land cost give it some pricing flexibility? And that is an important point, because if Lentor Garden Residences launches at a fair price, the lower land cost may create a more attractive entry point for buyers. If it launches too aggressively, then the land cost advantage may not fully benefit the buyer. So again, we come back to this. It is about whether the price makes sense. Now let's widen the comparison beyond Lentor. When we look at newer OCR land bids, land costs are already moving towards $1,200 to $1,300 per square foot per plot ratio, taking references from Lucian Grand, Hougang Central, Lentor Central, Bedok Rise, and Chuan Grove. So future projects built on higher land costs may need to launch at higher prices. So if Lentor Garden Residences can enter the market based on the lower land cost of around $920 per square foot per plot ratio, then buyers may potentially be entering at an older cost base. This is what we call the replacement cost advantage. Replacement cost simply means if a similar project were built in the future based on today's higher land costs and construction costs, what price would it need to sell? If future OCR projects need to sell higher, then today's projects with lower land costs may look more attractive over time. That's why land cost matters. It is not just a developer number, it affects future pricing, it affects future comparison, and it affects how future buyers may see value when they compare your resale unit against newer launches. So when buyers say OCR is already expensive, yes, I agree. But the deeper question is, compared to future replacement costs, is this a better entry point? That is what we need to analyze. Now let's compare with current OCR new launches. Today's OCR market is no longer the same as what many buyers remember. A few years ago, many buyers still felt that OCR should be below $2,000 per square foot. But today, many OCR new launches are already moving into the $2,300 to $2,600 per square foot range, depending on the location, project, unit type, and facing. So when we evaluate Lentor Garden Residences, we cannot compare it to old expectation. We need to compare it against today's market. And if today's OCR projects are already launching or transacting at those levels, then Lentor Garden Residences becomes interesting if it can enter at a lower or fairer range. Based on the information shared, if Lentor Garden Residences launches around 2001 to 2002 per square foot, then the land cost story becomes quite compelling. At this level, buyers may be entering below many current OCR new launch averages. But if pricing moves towards 2003 to 2,500 per square foot, then we need to become much more selective. At 2001 to 2002 per square foot, the lower land cost advantage is clearer. At 2003 per square foot, we need to study carefully. And at 2004 per square foot and above, the unit must have strong attributes, good stack, good facing, efficient layout, and a quantum that future buyers can still accept. So this is not a blanket of recommendation. It is a pricing framework. The same project can have good buys and not so good buys. The difference is in the entry price and unit selection. Before I continue into the resale comparison and future buyers profile, do give this video a like, and if this type of data-driven project analysis is useful to you, and also subscribe to my channel because I'll be sharing more project reviews, land cost analysis, new launch comparisons, and property strategies to help you make better decisions before you enter the market. Now let's continue with the next important part, resale proof. Because land cost is one thing, but we also need to see whether real buyers are already accepting these price levels in the nearby market. Before buying any new launch, I always like to ask, are there nearby resale transactions that support the pricing? Because if there's no resale proof, then we are relying mainly on future hope. But if nearby resale prices are already forming at a strong level, then we have some market evidence to work with. For the Lentor and Ang Mo Kio region, one useful reference is Amor Residence. Based on the data shared, Amor Residence has already recorded resale transactions around 2430 to 2582 per square foot. This is very meaningful. I'm not saying Lentor Garden Residences is exactly the same as Amor Residence. They are different projects, different location, different attributes, different site positioning, different buyer profile, so we should not compare blindly. But Amor Residence tells us something important. It tells us that buyers are already willing to accept pricing in the 2004 to 2006 per square foot range within the wider Ang Mo Kio and Lentor region. So that gives us a useful benchmark. So when we look at Lentor Garden Residences and the project enters at around, say, 2001 to 2002 PSF, then buyers may be entering at a level below some nearby resale evidence. Many buyers look at new launches only from today's perspective. They will ask, do I like the show flat? Is the layout nice? Is the pole nice? Is the project attractive? All of these are important. I'm not saying it's not important, but for investment or asset progression, we need to go deeper. We must ask, when I sell next time, what will the buyer be comparing against? Will they be comparing against future new launches? Will they compare against other Lentor projects? Will they compare against Amor? Will they compare against resale condos nearby? And most importantly, will my unit still look like good value? That is why resale proof matters. Nearby resale transactions will help us understand whether buyers are already prepared to pay certain price levels. It gives us market evidence. For Lentor Garden Residences, the Amor resale transactions around 2004 to 2005-ish PSF tells us that the wider area has price acceptance. But this does not mean every Lentor Garden Residences unit is safe. It means we must choose carefully. If your entry price is too high, your future resale margin may be tighter. If your unit has weaker facing or less ideal layout, your future buyer may negotiate harder. So the goal is not to buy any unit. The goal is to buy the right unit at the right price with a clear future buyers in mind. Now let's go into the most important part of property investment. Who is your future buyer? This is something I always help my clients analyze. Because in property, it is not just about whether you like the project today, it is also about the next buyer that can see the value when you exit. So for Lentor Garden Residences, the future buyer pool can come from a few main groups. The first group is HDB upgraders from mature estates like Ang Mo Kio and Yio Chu Kang. These are very important buyer pools. Many families live in those areas for years. Their parents may be nearby, their children may be studying nearby, their daily routine may already be built around the area. So when they upgrade, they may not want to move too far away. They may want to remain in the same region, but move into a newer private residential development. The second group is family buyers who want a new or nearly new condo with facilities, greenery, and access to the Thompson East Coast Line. The third group will be buyers from nearby landed enclave. Some may be buying for their children, some may be right-sizing, some may want a private development nearby while still staying close to the family network. The fourth group is buyers who are priced out of more central locations. If RCR and CCR prices continue to remain high, some buyers may look at mature OCR locations as a more practical option. So when we think about Lentor Garden Residences, one of the useful points from the information shared is the affordability angle for HDB upgraders. This is very important because a lot of future demand for OCR projects comes from HDB upgraders. For example, if an Ang Mo Kio HDB owner has fulfilled MOP, built up equity and is looking to upgrade, they may naturally look for private homes within the same region. But they will not only look at PSF, they will look at the total price. They will ask, how much is the unit? How much cash and CPF do I need? How much loan can I take? What is my monthly installment? Can I afford this comfortably? That is why when we analyze future exit, we cannot just say, oh, the PSF looks okay. We must ask, can the future buyer absorb the quantum? For Lentor Garden Residences, this is where the 3-bedroom units become very important. Because for family buyers and HDB upgraders, the 3-bedroom is often the practical entry point. A 2-bedroom may be too small for many families, a 4-bedroom may be too expensive for some upgraders, but a well-priced 3-bedroom can sit in the middle. It can appeal to genuine own-stay family demand, and that can be a stronger exit story. So when I help clients analyze this project, I could pay close attention to the 3-bedroom quantum, not just the PSF but the total price, because the total price determines how wide your future buyer pool can be. Lentor Garden Residences has 3-bedroom units around 872 square feet and 3-bedroom premium units around 1,012 square feet. If we use an estimated benchmark of around 2,002 per square foot, a 3-bedroom around 872 square feet may come in around $1.9 million plus. So this is also another important point to watch. Because for HDB upgraders, this may still be within a more practical range compared to larger units. But if the pricing moves too high, for example, closer to $2.3 or $2.5 million for the same buyer group, then the pool of buyers may become smaller. So, the 3-bedroom strategy is not just about buying a family-sized unit. When the next buyer compares, they may ask, can I get a new or nearly new 3-bedroom in a mature OCR area? Is the quantum still manageable? Is the layout efficient? Is the project still young? Is the price reasonable compared to newer launches? So if the answer is yes, your exit stories become stronger. That's why I always say, the cheapest unit is not always the best investment, nor the lowest PSF is the best investment. Sometimes the best investment is the unit that has the widest future buyers pool. And for Lentor Garden Residences, the 3-bedroom may be where we need to focus. The future buyer must be able to afford your unit. That is why quantum matters. Now, after looking at land cost, pricing and future buyers' demand, the next thing I want to look at is the floor plan. Because sometimes buyers get very focused on PSF, but PSF alone does not tell you whether a unit is efficient. A lower PSF unit may not always be better if the layout is not practical. And a slightly higher PSF unit may still make some sense if the layout is more efficient, more livable, and easier to sell in future. So when we study a floor plan, I usually ask a few questions. Is the layout efficient? Is there wasted space? Is the living and dining area practical? Are the bedrooms regular shaped? Is the kitchen usable? Is there enough storage? And most importantly, will the future buyer find this layout easy to accept? Because when you exit in future, the buyer is not just buying your project, they're buying your actual unit. So the layout matters. So for Lentor Garden Residences, the 2-bedroom layouts starts from 646 for the 2-bedroom, and there are also larger 2-bedroom types around 678 square feet, as well as 2-bedroom with study layouts around 732 square feet. For the compact 2-bedroom layout, what I like is that it still gives you the 2 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, which is important. For own stay, 2 bathroom gives more comfort. For investment, 2 bathroom also make the unit more flexible, especially if tenants are sharing. The living and dining area is kept quite compact, but the layout is generally straightforward. The kitchen is positioned near the entrance, which helps to keep the cooking area separate from the living space. And the balcony is connected to the living room, so it gives the living area a bit more openness. But for this type of 2-bedroom, buyers must be realistic. This is not a very large 2-bedder. So if the buyer's profile may be singles, couples, young families with 1 child, or investors. If you're buying for own stay and you need more flexibility, then the 2-bedroom plus study layout may be more useful. For the 2-bedroom plus study layouts, the size is around 732 square feet. This is useful because the study can serve different purposes. It can be a work-from-home corner, it can be a small storage area, it can be a helper's rest area depending on lifestyle needs, or it can be used as a reading or children's study zone. In today's market, a study space can be quite valuable because many buyers still want flexibility at home. But the key question is whether the additional size and price premium are worth it. So if the price gap between the normal 2-bedroom and the 2-bedroom plus study is reasonable, then the 2-bedroom plus study may appeal to a wider buyer's pool. But if the price gap is too large, then some buyers may prefer to stretch to a compact 3-bedroom instead. Now, let's look at the 3-bedroom layouts because this is where I think many family buyers and HDB upgraders will focus. The compact 3-bedroom starts from around 872 square feet, and there are larger 3-bedroom types around 936 square feet, 969 square feet, and 1,001 square feet, and 1,012 square feet. For the 872 square feet 3-bedroom, the advantage is quantum. This is likely to be one of the more affordable entry points for buyers who want a proper 3-bedroom units. For HDB upgraders, this may be important because the total price is easier to manage compared to the larger 3-bedroom premium units. But buyers must understand the trade-off. At 872 square feet, the space will be more compact. So if you need to study whether the bedroom can fit in your lifestyle, whether the living and dining area feels comfortable, and whether storage is enough. This type of unit may work well for buyers who want a 3-bedroom address and family functionality, but still want to control the total quantum. For future resale, this can be attractive because the price quantum may still be accessible to a wider pool of HDB upgraders. For the larger 3-bedroom layouts, especially those around 936 to 1,012 square feet, the functionality improves. Some layouts include a study, while the premium layouts comes with more family-friendly features like a household shelter, dry and wet kitchen, yard, and in some layouts even a WC. A dry and wet kitchen can be very useful for buyers who cook very often. A yard is useful for laundry. A household shelter gives storage, which many compact new launches lack. And these are features that future own-stay buyers may appreciate. So for the bigger 3-bedroom layouts, the appeal is not just the extra size, it is the improved livability. But of course, the larger the unit, the higher the total quantum. So for buyers, the question is, do you want the more affordable 3-bedroom quantum, or do you want the more comfortable family layout? There is no one right answer. It depends on your budget, your own stay needs, and your exit strategy. For investment or asset progression, I will still pay close attention to the quantum. Because the larger 3-bedroom premium may be nicer to stay in, but the future buyer's pool may be slightly narrower if the total price becomes too high. For the 4-bedroom layouts, the sizes are around 1,184 square feet for the compact 4-bedroom and around 1,346 to 1,356 square feet for the premium 4-bedroom types. The 4-bedroom layouts are clearly targeted at larger families. What stands out is that the larger 4-bedroom premium layouts comes with more complete family features. You have a dry and wet kitchen, you have yard, you have household shelter. Some layouts also include a junior master bedroom with a walk-in wardrobe for the master room. These are features that make the home more comfortable for multi-generation families or buyers who are upgrading from a larger HDB flat. But from an investment point of view, the 4-bedroom buyer's pool is more selective. The quantum is higher, so when you exit, your future buyers may not have the budget for a larger private home. But that does not mean the 4-bedroom is not good. It just means that the buyer's profile is different. For 4-bedroom units, I would focus even more on the facing, stack, layout efficiency, and whether the price gap from the 3-bedroom premium is justified. There are also strata terrace units of around 1,496 square feet. These are more niche. They may appeal to buyers who want something different from the typical apartment layout. The terrace units offer a landed-like feel within a condo environment with multiple bedrooms and more separation of space. But because this is a niche product, so the buyer's pool may also be a bit smaller. So this type of unit is usually more suitable for buyers who are buying mainly for own stay and lifestyle rather than pure investment liquidity. For future resale, you need the right buyer who appreciates the terrace concept. So if I summarize the floor plan strategy, for the 2-bedroom, the strength is lower quantum with rental flexibility. For the 2-bedroom plus study, the strength is flexibility, especially for work from home or storage. The compact 3-bedroom, the strength is family functionality at a more manageable entry quantum. For the larger 3-bedroom premium, the strength is livability, especially with features like yard, household shelter, and better kitchen setup. For the 4-bedroom, the strength is larger family demand, but the buyer's pool is more selective due to the higher quantum. And for the strata terrace, it is more lifestyle-driven and niche. So when I help clients shortlist units, I will not just ask which one is the cheapest, I will ask which layout gives the widest future buyer's pool, which quantum is easier to exit, which unit type matches the demand profile in that area, and which layout will still make sense to the next buyer 5 years later. There are still more details to study such as stack position, facing, afternoon sun, privacy view, price gap between unit types, and which layout gives you a better exit strategy. So if you want the detailed floor plan analysis, you can PM me and I'll walk you through the different layouts, which ones may suit own stay, which ones may suit investment, and which ones may give you stronger future resale audience. Let's look at the estimated price metrics. Official launch prices have not been released yet, so these numbers are indicative only. But based on the information provided and using 2002 PSF as a working estimate, the indicative pricing may look something like this. For a 2-bedroom, 2-bath around 646 square feet, the estimated starting price may be around 1.4 million. For a 2-bedroom plus study around 732 square feet, the estimate may start at around 1.6 million and it may go higher depending on PSF and floor level. For a 3-bedroom around 872 square feet, the estimated entry may be around 1.9 million plus. For a 3-bedroom premium around 1,012 square feet, the price range may be around 2.2 million to 2.7 million, depending on the stack, floor, facing, and PSF. For a 4-bedroom around 1,184 square feet, the estimated starting price may be around 2.6 million. For the larger 4-bedroom around 1,356 square feet, the price may range from around 2.9 million to 3.6 million. There are also strata terrace units around 1,496 square feet, which may range from around 3.2 million to 4 million, although the PSF may be different from typical apartment units. Again, these are not official prices, these are indicative estimates based on the current assumption. But this price matrix helps us understand the buying strategy. Now let's address another concern, distance to MRT. Lentor Garden Residences is not the closest plot to Lentor MRT. It is also not integrated with MRT and retail like Lentor Modern. So some buyers may ask, will this affect future resale? My honest answer is yes, it can be a factor. MRT distance does matter, convenience does matter, the future buyers will compare, but this does not mean the project has no opportunity. Because not every buyers need to live directly above the MRT. Some buyers prefer privacy and some buyers prefer a quieter environment. Some buyers prefer greenery and some buyers may drive. Some buyers may want to stay away from heavier traffic near the mall or station. So again, the question is not, is this the nearest to MRT? And a better question to ask is the price fair enough to compensate for the distance? If the project is priced too close to the best located project, then we need to be careful. But if there is a meaningful value gap, some buyers may accept the trade-off. This is why pricing is so important. Distance is a weakness only when the price does not compensate for it. If the price reflects the trade-off, it can still make sense for the right buyer. Also, for buyers who are concerned about the walk to MRT, there is some short-term support after TOP. There will be a shuttle bus service to Lentor MRT and Ang Mo Kio MRT for 1 year after TOP, with one bus serving both locations. This does not replace long-term location fundamentals, but it can help during the initial period after TOP, especially for residents adjusting to the development. And when it comes to the actual walk, the estimated walk from the side gate at the Green Finger, cutting across the park to Lentor MRT entrance is about 5 to 8 minutes. So this is not an integrated development, but it is still within a practical walking range. Again, the question is whether the pricing makes sense relative to the distance. Another concern is the proximity to industrial buildings. So this is something buyers should not ignore. When buying property, surroundings does matter. And your future buyers will also look at the same things you are looking at today. They will look at facing, they will look at view, they will look at privacy, they will look at what is around the development. So for Lentor Garden Residences, stack selection is very important. Some units may have better greenery views, some may face towards Hillock Park, some may face towards landed housing, some may be more private, some may be less affected by surrounded buildings. This is why I always tell clients, don't just buy the cheapest unit. Sometimes the cheapest unit is cheap for a reason. You need to ask, what does the unit face? Is there afternoon sun? Is the layout efficient? Will future buyers like this stack? Is the price difference enough to justify the trade-off? Can this unit stand out when there are other resale units in the same area? This is where advisory becomes important. Because two buyers can buy in the same project, but their outcome can be very different. Same development, same stack, different entry price, different future exit. So for this project, unit selection is not optional, it is critical. And for buyers who are very particular about views, there is one useful detail. For units facing Hillock Park or the forested areas, Blocks 74, 76 and 78 may enjoy unobstructed park view from level 3 onwards, and fully unblocked views beyond Hillock Park from level 10 onwards. That is why stack and floor selection matters. Sometimes two units may have the same bedroom type and similar size, but the view story can be very different. When you exit in future, that view story may affect how attractive your unit is to the next buyer. Now let's talk about timing. From the information shared, there is this idea of a buyer's window. I think this is a very useful way to explain the opportunity. On one side, we have older land cost. Lentor Garden Residences was acquired at around 920 per square foot per plot ratio. On the other side, we have newer OCR land bids moving towards 1002 to 1003 PSF per plot ratio. And in between, buyers may have a window to enter before future prices reset the pricing benchmark higher. This does not mean that you should rush in blindly. Timing is not about panic buying. Timing is about understanding the economics. If the project launches at a fair price and the unit selection is right, then the lower land cost may give buyers a meaningful entry advantage. But if the pricing is too aggressive, then we need to reassess. So the strategy is buy the right unit at the right quantum with the right exit audience in mind. That is the real strategy. Now, of course, every project has risk, and I think it is important to be very transparent about them. The first risk is supply. There are multiple projects in Lentor, so future resale competition will be there. The second risk is distance to MRT. Lentor Garden Residences is not the nearest plot to the MRT, so the entry price must reflect this. The third risk is surrounding environment. Some buyers may be sensitive to nearby industrial buildings, so stack and facing selection becomes very important. The fourth risk is overpaying. That is the biggest risk. If the land cost is low, if the launch price is too high, then the advantage becomes less meaningful. So buyers must not just hear 920 per square foot per plot ratio land cost and assume everything is safe. The final selling price still matters. The unit selection still matters. The future buyer still matters. And if a client asks me whether Lentor Garden Residences is worth considering, I would not give a simple yes or no. I would first ask, are you buying for your own stay or investment? Are you buying for asset progression? Are you buying for your children? Are you planning to hold for 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years? Then I look at the budget. Are you comfortable at 1.4 million, 1.6, 1.9, 2.3 million? Then I look at the exit audience. Who is likely to buy this unit from you next time? Would that be HDB upgraders, family buyers, nearby resident, investor? Then I will compare the unit against alternatives. Should you consider another Lentor project? Should you consider a resale property? Should you consider another OCR launch? Or should you consider moving closer to RCR? Only after that can we decide whether this project fits your strategy. Because property is never one size fits all. A good project may still be wrong for the wrong buyer, and a project with concerns may still become a good opportunity if the entry price, unit selection, and holding strategy are aligned. My role is to help you analyze the numbers, understand the future buyer, and decide whether the property supports your long-term plan. So coming back to the main question, is Lentor Garden Residences oversupplied, or is it a lower land cost opportunity? So my view is this: it depends on final pricing and unit selection. If the project launches at a fair price, especially around the lower estimated range of 2001 to 2002 per square foot, then the 920 per square foot per plot ratio land cost becomes meaningful. It may offer buyers a chance to enter OCR based on an older land cost structure. And this can be important because future OCR projects may need to launch higher due to higher land bids. But if the pricing is too close to stronger competing projects, then buyers must be more selective. We need to look carefully at stack, facing, layout, quantum, and future exit audience. So I would not say buy blindly, but I would not dismiss Lentor Garden Residences just because of the supply concern. Because sometimes market concern is exactly where we need to look deeper. The real question is not whether there are many projects in Lentor. The real question is, are you entering at the right price? Are you choosing the right unit? And will your future buyer see value when you exit? That is the framework I want you to take away from the video. This is very useful because it helps you to see the project beyond the brochure, the surrounding views, block positioning, greenery, landed-facing direction, and how different stacks may feel in real life. You can see the wider open spaces, the landed houses, and the landmarks like CHIJ, St. Nicholas Girls' School, Thomson Plaza, and the broader direction towards the landed enclave. This is very important because it helps us think about different buyer preferences. So if you are considering Lentor Garden Residences, don't just go to the show flat and choose based on emotion. Study the land cost, compare the surrounding new launches, look at the nearby resale proof, understand your future buyer, and most importantly, choose the right layout at the right quantum. And as I mentioned earlier, the layout section I shared today is only an overview. If you want the detailed floor plan analysis, the stack comparison, the facing, the drone view review, the bedroom type comparison, and the unit selection strategy, you can PM me directly. And if you found this video useful, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more property analysis, new launch reviews, land cost comparisons, and asset progression strategies to help you make better property decisions. And if you would like me to walk you through whether Lentor Garden Residences fits into your property plan, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you analyze the price metrics, the unit selection, the future exit audience, the drone views, the bedroom types, and whether this project makes sense for your own portfolio. Because at the end of the day, property is not just about buying what looks good today. It's about making sure the next buyer can also see the value when you're ready to exit. This is Sandra, and I'll see you in the next video.